One of the biggest issues in the 3PL customer relationship, and when I say that, I'm talking about the shipper or BCO who has hired a 3PL to do their business, is that a lot of times what you see is that the relationship is adversarial from the beginning, and the shipper or BCO who hires that 3PL doesn't take advantage of all the capabilities of a 3PL by what I call over managing or micromanaging the 3PL. The idea here is to set parameters, set metrics, set your expectations up front, be full disclosure, and then allow the 3PL to do their job. Hold them accountable via the metrics that you set forth, whether it be inventory accuracy, on-time shipping, on-time receipts, inventory turn information, shipping, by expiration date, whatever those metrics are that drive your business in your own warehouse. Those are the same metrics that you should hold the 3PL accountable to. And once you do that, measure them and use that as your tool. Don't try to direct them. By directing them, what you do as a customer is you give them every excuse in the book to not be successful. Now they can say that, well, I only did what you told me to do. Okay, now you change that relationship to where, listen, you're responsible to achieve the expectations that we've set forth. Okay, I'm not giving you day-to-day, minute-by-minute direction. The minute you stop doing that, now you can hold the 3PL truly accountable to help you succeed. Otherwise, if you treat them as temporary storage, temporary labor, someone to just execute what you tell them to execute, you'll never get the full value that you should get out of a 3PL. You need to be very cognizant of what you tell them and how you measure that success. There's a lot of customers out there that feel like they have to do it themselves. They feel like they can do it cheaper themselves.
If they run the space.
If they own the space, they have the assets, they feel like they can do it themselves. And my answer to that is, I doubt it. The idea of being fully burdened on your balance sheet for carrying an asset like a warehouse, the fully burdened of all the costs, fixed costs that are associated with that, versus in a shared environment where you're paying for shared space and shared resources, that doesn't pencil out. I think the problem is they feel it's a control factor. I feel like I've got to control it. Whereas with a 3PL, you broaden your horizon, you broaden your capabilities, you give yourself a greater bandwidth to increase volume, you give your a quicker reactive time to reduced volume. But if you run it yourself, the fixed costs increase as your volume goes down. There's no relief at all. Where you can go into a transactional arrangement with a 3PL and you get that flexibility so that your costs are variable with your volume instead of a huge fixed burden. Many people feel like they look at it on the surface and they don't realize all the costs that go into running a warehouse themselves. Also, they don't realize the loss of bandwidth, the loss of ability that they get when they try to do it themselves. They can't have the breadth of experience, they can't have all the tools, they can't have the access that they would have if they would choose to outsource to a 3PL. The dilemma is, do I do it in-house or do I do it outsource it? Outsource has become a dirty word in America because they think of outsourcing as it's all going to India or wherever. The beauty of a 3PL relationship is that you don't just get a warehouse, you get all that experience. And what people don't understand is that they have a very narrow band of experience if they do it themselves in-house. Whereas a 3PL has multiple customers doing it multiple ways, and they can use those best practices they learn from a variety of customers to give you the absolute best product. Also to bring new ideas to the table for you on how you can do it better. That has to be the focus of that outsourced relationship. And again, I can't emphasize enough that the shipper, the BCO that hires the 3PL, not to micromanage that 3PL, because all you're doing is giving them built-in excuses to fail, built-in reasons why they won't be successful. Measure through metrics and KPIs so that you've got good solid indices that tell you whether or not they're being successful or not. Manage the numbers, don't manage the people. Stay out of that co-employment, stay out of that existence where all they are temporary space and temporary people. And then you'll get the full breadth of what they can do for you, what a 3PL is capable of. That is, what I think is the beauty of the outsourced relationship.